Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and absolutely bust a common myth about why birds react the way they do when you step into your garden. If you've ever spent time feeding backyard birds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've probably noticed that some days they just flock to you effortlessly, right? And then other days they scatter the absolute second you open the back door. Well, today we're diving into the fascinating, well-documented science behind exactly why this happens. As you'll see, the connection between you and the wildlife outside your window is so much more profound than just being the person who fills the bird feeder. It's an intense, unspoken link between their physical bodies and your deepest emotions. So let's kick this off with a bit of a provocative question. Can the birds in your yard actually read your mind? I mean, it certainly feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? You might think they're just reacting to a loud noise, or maybe how fast you walk, or even whether you're wearing that one bright red jacket. But the truth is actually so much deeper than that. They aren't telepathic, obviously, but their reactions are tied directly to your internal emotional state. What you are feeling internally is literally broadcasting an invisible signal to every single feathered visitor in your yard. So no, they absolutely cannot read your mind, but they can read your body, and they do it with astonishing precision. Every emotional state you experience, whether it's stress, anxiety, grief, distraction, or pure joy, translates into an invisible, measurable physical language that wild animals clearly understand. You might think you're doing a great job keeping your feelings bottled up inside, but to a bird, your emotional state is on full physical display from the moment you step outside. And this brings us to the actual science of how this works, which is all about kinematics. Now, don't let the technical term throw you off. This isn't just poetry, it's a cold, hard physiological fact. Whether you are anxious or completely calm, your nervous system involuntarily alters your kinematics. It actually changes the way your human body moves through space without you even realizing it's happening. Your stride length shifts, the speed of your step changes, the degree of muscle tension in your shoulders, your arms, and your hands subtly locks up. Even the rhythm of your breathing changes. Your emotions are essentially hijacking the steering wheel of your body's movements. Let's actually put a concrete number on how quickly this happens. 5 minutes. Think about that. If you receive a piece of difficult news on a phone call, just 5 minutes later, you will walk into your garden moving measurably differently than you did the day before. The feeder is in the exact same place. The garden looks exactly the same. But to the birds, you are not the exact same person they classified as safe yesterday. And their precise sensory instruments will register this tiny 5-minute shift in your emotional and physical state. The absolutely crucial point here is that you cannot hide a stressed nervous system from nature. When we look at the human body under stress, your emotions create very specific visual cues: shoulder tension, a quickened tempo, a scattered gaze, and tiny involuntary twitches. You're practically vibrating with it. Conversely, if we look at a calm human body, it naturally suppresses those micro-movements, giving you a relaxed posture and a nice, unhurried stride. And the thing is, you can't consciously choose to hide these micro-movements because they emerge directly from your nervous system's raw response to your internal emotions. Now look at how this directly impacts the bird's body. This brilliantly illustrates the physical connection between species. When you carry that invisible tension, a bird responds instantly with intense caution. You'll see their body change, they stay further back, adopting a stiff, incredibly watchful posture. But when you exude genuine calm, you're rewarded with a confident bird making quicker approaches and exhibiting entirely relaxed feeding behavior. It's a mirror effect. Your physical emotion directly dictates their physical reaction. This insight is perfectly captured by a really powerful quote from our source material that I absolutely love. It says, "The birds are not fooled by the ordinary trappings of the routine. They are measuring something else." And it's so true. You can wear your lucky, identical jacket. You can go out at the exact same time of morning holding the exact same cup of seed. It really doesn't matter. You cannot trick them. The birds are completely bypassing your little routine and reading the unedited physical truth of your current emotional state. They are measuring the quality of your movement itself. So why are birds so unbelievably good at reading our emotions? Well, this hyper-awareness builds upon millions of years of cold, hard evolutionary biology. Predator detection is literally one of the most demanding cognitive tasks a prey animal ever performs. Millions of years ago, survival meant distinguishing between a relaxed animal and a hunting predator. Thousands of years ago, it was about reading subtle shifts in a predator's gaze or tempo. And today, those exact same ancient life-saving sensory skills are being used by the little chickadee or cardinal at your feeder to assess your threat level. Reading a subtle shift in body language was, and still is, the literal difference between life and death. In the scientific community, they actually measure this reaction using a concept called flight initiation distance.
Basically, this is the specific invisible bubble or distance a wild animal allows a potential threat to approach before taking off. When you walk out carrying the physical signature of a difficult, stressful day, this distance significantly increases. Your movement profile has deviated from the familiar, safe pattern the birds have memorized. They register your emotional tension as a physical inconsistency, which instantly triggers a mild elevation in their threat assessment.
Studies show that birds are highly sensitive to incredibly specific actions. Let's look at a few examples. For instance, if you're staring directly at a bird, your emotional state registers to them as preoccupied or hunting. That triggers a high threat assessment and early flushing. But if your gaze is soft and you're looking elsewhere, you register as present and calm, meaning they'll make a confident approach. And if you have those erratic micro-movements from stress or anxiety, you become totally unpredictable, and they maintain a highly cautious distance. They literally treat a scattered, tense human as a completely different entity than a relaxed one.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, easy fix. I'll just hold my breath and stand perfectly still, even if I'm totally stressed out. Well, sorry to break it to you, but fake Zen just doesn't work. Performed stillness fails every time. Stillness must be genuine. Birds aren't fooled by you just freezing in place if your nervous system is spiraling. A tense nervous system alters how your body breathes. A stressed body holds its weight stiffly rather than naturally. Your internal distraction inevitably translates to external tension. And because these animals have been reading movement profiles since before humans even built gardens, they register the difference between performed stillness and genuine stillness every single time. No exceptions.
But hey, here's the absolutely beautiful reality of this science. Think about the days when your yard feels absolutely magical. You know the ones. When the birds seem unusually present, they get incredibly close, and they're just easy to be around. Those days directly correlate to the days when you are genuinely rested, quiet, and mentally present in the moment. When you are unhurried, not agonizing about the past or the future, your body language signals absolute safety. In response, the birds behave more confidently and come closer to you. You are earning their trust simply by being at peace. Ultimately, what all this science suggests is perfectly captured in this idea. The garden functions as a kind of honest mirror. Your yard isn't just some external environment where random things just happen. It actually reflects back the unedited physical truth of what you brought with you through the gate. If you bring the weight of a heavy day, the garden responds with distance. If you bring a settled mind, the garden comes alive all around you. It doesn't reflect who you are trying to be. It reflects exactly how your body is carrying your true emotions in that exact, precise moment. So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to chew on. What movement profile will you bring into your garden tomorrow morning? The next time you step outside to fill that feeder, take a breath. Really ask yourself how your human body is carrying your emotions today. Are you carrying tension or are you genuinely present? Watch closely how the natural world responds to the physical truth of your presence. It might just change the way you see your backyard, and honestly, yourself forever. Thanks so much.